Meteorologist Casey Cloud with you here in the Weather Center on this Tuesday evening, tracking a tornado emergency here in Michigan. Precisely, they zoom on in here. It's right there for Union City in Michigan. I know it's kind of right on the line here as we're looking at things, as we're kind of tracking the overall situation right on that county line. But a tornado emergency there in play in Union City, Michigan right now, as we're watching potentially catastrophic tornado situation according to weather service there in that region. This is parts of Grants County we're talking about. This is issued by the Weather Service in northern Indiana. So kind of an odd area here, to be quite honest, for a tornado emergency to need to be issued. But we have seen some really nasty looking storms that have been producing damage over the last little bit. Some of that up toward areas there as we look toward Kalamazoo County, as well as the overall setup here today was really supposed to focus a little bit further down toward the south. So as we'll kind of see here on our other source here in just a second, I'm going to kind of say here the overall view. You see the area of gold there, that's where the higher tornado risk is, but there's a tornado watch up here where we have all the warnings. That's a lower tornado risk, but we're actually getting more of a concern to come down toward the surface in the form of tornadic activity. So again, a tornado emergency right now for Grants County there in Michigan, a potentially catastrophic tornado there impacting that area around Union City, Michigan. I know it's kind of tricky. Some of these radar scans here, in that some of these are a little bit further away than we'd like them, but also just an area that we're not in the meteorology world here in terms of severe weather, as used to looking at tornadoes that could be potentially as significant as what the Weather Service is thinking right now, in the form of it potentially being able to produce catastrophic damage. So again, just going to continue to watch things here, going to continue to monitor the situation. You can kind of see here as we're looking, this is starting to move in toward Calhoun County there, and toward Michigan. And I'll have to see if they upgraded any of those areas there to a tornado emergency. But it's really just moving past Union City now, it would seem. I know it's kind of an odd signature on radar in some ways. The debris, though, again, we've been watching some of these tracks here. Definitely at points some significant debris. I mean, a 5,000 feet, that's kind of what makes it tricky, too, because I mean, by the time they issue that tornado emergency in town, it might have really already been coming on through. It's just not a great area on radar, but gotta watch out there for some of these areas downstream. You see Burlington there in Michigan, over there in Calhoun County, Michigan. And looking there, I mean, if I go just to the south of them, but come more toward a community there, further off toward the east, again, gonna be watching things as we're looking there on I-69, Interstate 69. So just gonna keep watching, keep tracking things here, seeing winds of about 85 one way and about 10 the other way. Again, that makes me wonder if this is as strong as some of the other tornadoes have been tracking here, like that one last night in Oklahoma we had to come on for, but still could be very significant for this area here, and in the judgment of the Weather Service meteorologist there, could be catastrophic damage produced, and it very well may be, because the radar cover didn't grade out here. It's just not something that we can kind of get a good look on here, get a good look as we're kind of watching things. We're just going to keep on giving you the latest updates. I know we already had some significant tornadic activity over the last little bit, it would seem. I know around the community of Portage there, in parts of Kalamazoo County, a radar confirmed tornado damage in St. Joseph County there, or St. Joseph County there, with multiple reports of tornadoes there. So not what you want to see there, obviously, as we're looking at things with different damage being reported that kind of go back in time. You saw how it went through Centerville there with that rotation. So again, just gonna go ahead and keep looking at things here, keep giving you the latest as the situation does progress here. Again, I know it's kind of a hard time to pronounce as I'm kind of looking at it, but we're just kind of seeing things maybe around Tech Onsa there, and possibly a way to pronounce that, as we're looking at get a tornado emergency of things kind of keep trending in the direction they do based on just what they did earlier on, but hard to say. Again, it was kind of right on the edge. It didn't matter, and it was still very significant when you had to come on, obviously, when they see that. But that community only had about 653 folks in it. I mean, Union City, Michigan, as I look at the population density on that community, we're talking about 1,714. So, again, going to continue to track this situation here. Still a tornado emergency right now for Union City, Michigan. So, a large and extremely dangerous tornado is on the ground. Take immediate tornado precautions. This is an emergency situation. Catastrophic damage could be being done. So, again, not what you want to see. I know it's kind of honestly moving more into the next polygon, which is, I think, is a different weather service as we were talking about. Northern Indiana in charge of that one for Brant County. But up toward Calhoun County, it's Grand Rapids. So, again, it makes it a little bit different, and they may not want to go with a tornado emergency there because it's kind of up to each office, and one office is assist enough, the other office is not quite there for it, but it doesn't matter, and a tornado warning is a tornado warning. For a large tornado on the ground, you need to get an interior room away from windows, a basement if you have it. I know, very important to do that here still in this set of circumstances, so. Again, gonna keep watching things. Let's go back to the broad view again. The bigger risk today was supposed to be a little bit further to the south in that gold area, but so far we have seen more accidents concentrate to the north. I know there is a tornado warning now here of some discrete accidents, and you see how they're kind of all by themselves, which is more concerning than what we saw with most of the accidents, except for that one storm last night there that obviously made it all the way up toward it was like Bartlesville. So again, let's go ahead and kind of look at things. Our SCP values aren't near as high as yesterday, but there's different parameters in play that could still be favorable for problems. And I know tomorrow the risk shifts back to the west a little. Areas like Missouri could be in play here for a significant severe weather risk. So kind of a tricky situation. I know I'll have a full update here later tonight, but let's go ahead and keep looking at things right now. As this situation does progress, it looks like the tornado emergency box has gone off the screen now. We'll wait just a little while longer. It looks like this storm has been producing some very, very significant hail, and upward about 4 inches here. So, not what you want to hear, obviously. I mean, that's better than the tornado reports in and of itself, but still, 4-inch hail around Union City there. You know, mixing with a tornado would be something that wouldn't be good. I mean, you'd be getting a lot of that hail probably driving maybe into windows and the like, but even the strong winds, it wouldn't be good. I mean, there's always a chance, too, that maybe the tornadic accident wasn't quite as extreme around there, and a lot of what we're seeing on, like, the pre-tracker might be more of the hail in there. That's not out of the question either, so that'd be interesting to find out. But again, I know we saw some stuff like that there going back last year, or a couple years ago. I guess it's kind of hard sometimes. You lose track of time, but in toward Arkansas there we had some tornado emergencies and they didn't even verify. So we had this verified further back. Don't get me wrong. It's daytime, not nighttime too. But it's just a little bit tricky with the radar coverage. Not quite as good out here. But again, I'm just trying to give you the very latest on the overall scenario here. Trying to update you guys here as needed. So, tornado emergency no longer on play. I don't really see a definitive debris signature. This still could be an issue here toward the interstate there, I-69. So, something you definitely got to keep an eye on here. We'll keep an eye on it here for you in the Weather Center. I think we're going to wrap it up here in just a moment. I know Kalamazoo County tornado warning in play. The latest update you saw there. That purple one is now actually a red or indicated tornadoes. That's a lot better news. This is south of Battle Creek, where it's still a particularly dangerous situation. Not a tornado emergency, but particularly dangerous situation there. Located near Burlington, or 11 miles south of Marshall. Moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. So, gotta be careful there. I know, just gonna keep looking at things here as the situation does progress on us. Just trying to give you the very latest here on exactly what is developing I know there was ping pong balls, I say earlier on cold water, but now I know we're talking about still a radar indicated tornado warning report to Branson, Hillsdale counties. Again, trying to give you the latest. There is a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground farther south here. As we continue to watch things, continue to track the scenario, that's toward parts of Steuben, Branson, Hillsdale counties. That's another area of concern. So, again, just gonna keep looking here, gonna keep tracking. Between all the different modes. I guess we're not on the greatest mode for this area. Okay, I know this is kind of tricky, but let's kind of look at things and know. There's some acts in there. This is the large and extremely dangerous tornado emergency management. Reported the tornado is on the ground southwest of Fremont. So I know we're right about 3,000 feet up. Honestly, I would think to be more of a debris signature, though. If this was something really high up on the EF scale, but still gotta be really careful in that area. Just make sure you're taking your tornado precautions, obviously. The tornado warning down here toward parts of Grant County in Indiana. And you see some other rogue storms we've got to watch here later on. They could start to mature and intensify here if they remain in that discrete mode here. If they don't get in a line, they could be a problem later on. I mean, there's that significant tornado risk as we outlined there further off. I mean, really, you're talking about parts of Ohio there under that risk. So that could even be something later on here in the timeline around Cincinnati they'll have to watch, or it could be further up. Maybe it'll end up being near Columbus and the Ohio State University. But again, we're just going to keep watching, keep tracking here. Keep letting you guys know exactly what's going on here. Just if it's necessary, we'll break back in. Otherwise, we'll have that formal update here later tonight. So just keep it tuned here to Cloud Weather. We'll keep you up to date here. You see all the different platforms we're on. We're on Facebook there. KC Cloud WX Cloud Weather. Twitter /X at Cloud KC. YouTube at Cloud Weather. And then Twitch Cloud Weather, and then the website there, cloudweather.com. So, again, we'll be on top of it here as needed in the Weather Center. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me.